All right, Mech Warriors, I want your vote for the best close-in fighting machine. The best mech that really excels at 1 to 3 hexes or point blank 1 hex away. And of course, different mechs, different machines based on the weight class. But in expanding this Tactica, I'm going to share with you my favorite machines. 3 of my favorite machines, light, medium, and assault-based mechs that just want to get up there. I want to see you, not through the heads-up display, not from the targeting computer. I want to see you face to face. I want to see you in your mech cockpit. That's how close I'm going to be. 3 machines. And then, of course, your vote for agree or disagree, but also what machines should we be looking at? So ideally, I'd like a machine. Let's kind of jump through the characteristics first. I can't have everything. I can't have super speed, super weapons, ton of tonnage, tons of armor. I mean, it's battle value. We've got to make some trade-offs. But with a close-up, close-work machine, there are certain minimums that I think we need to meet. The first is speed. Based on the weight class, I need to be average or above average speed to get up there, but also to make sure whatever I'm going to try and attack can't really run away from me. If I'm an extremely slow mech, massive tonnage, massive battle fists, I'm never going to get anywhere. I'm never going to make it up there. So I need to have some speed. Second would be average to slightly above average armor. I'm going to take a couple of hits on the way in. I'm probably not going to be utilizing terrain, meaning I'm not going to be like a marauder where I get to a good position with some terrain, with some cover, with some elevation. I'm just blasting you with PPCs and autocannons. I'm going to be going to where you are, and it might be a fortified position or a hex map with some good area terrain that you're in that I got to break through. I'm going to take a couple of hits on the way in. Weapons configuration. For me, this is the biggest. Somehow I've made it up there. We're 1 hex away. I want to be able to initiate physical attacks, and I want to be able to initiate close combat attacks. And I want to have weapons geared towards close-in, point-blank fighting. If I've got an autocannon 20, which is the perfect example, it's only 1 shot. You want me to take that shot? You're like, Fritz might hit. If he hits anywhere, I'm in trouble, right? He ran, I ran, we did this, we did that. I crunched the numbers in the targeting computer. Fritz needs 10 or higher, right? Shooting me with a medium laser, 10 or higher, I'm like, okay, that's good. I'll take those odds. Autocannon 20, I don't know. I don't want you to roll those dice no matter what the odds. And if I can pull that down to a 5 or a 6, that's pretty crazy. It's only 1 shot, but I only need to make that shot. So having that, and I love the Victor. I regularly play the Victor. Having that autocannon 20 in an arm, that's not the best location, especially if it's a close-in mech. I wouldn't say the Victor is a close-in, hand-to-hand combat type mech. Because if I make it up there, now it's like do the punch for the 1 in 6 headshot, magnified by my heavier assault tonnage, or take the autocannon hit. So weapons location is key, primarily left, right, center, torso, from that area. So the first machine going in at a medium, the Hunchback. The Hunchback. It's got interesting, recognizable profile. It's got the speed to get up there. It's got okay armor for medium. I've got the medium lasers I'm going to be shooting, something to do on the way in. As soon as I'm in range for the autocannon, I'm going to start shooting it at long range. Even if I need 12s to hit, I'm going to start firing. But then when I get up there, point blank, punch, autocannon in was it the left or the right torso? I can't believe I can't even think of that now. I think it's left torso. But firing that, I can punch, autocannon, punch, autocannon. That is, that's kind of the sweet spot, in my opinion, for a brawler mech. Because there's a couple of what-ifs to make that happen. I'm going to buy in with the battle value, but if I spend a ton of battle value and you sink me on the way in, or it's a mission of fast-moving units, I can never make it there. I'm running from one side of the hex map to the other. That's not the most efficient battle value, and it might leave me a little short depending on the battle value of the game in other key Tactica areas. But if I go in on that medium, that's got some bite, that's got some effect. Now jumping up to the heaviers, the Banshee. I love playing the Banshee. So moving forward with the Banshee, a little slightly slower than I'd like, but still okay, but it makes up for it in armor and tonnage. I've got that PPC. I've got that autocannon. What's interesting is I've got range on the way in. Now as I start to close, yeah, I'm going to hit minimums. I'm still going to take it, but now I'm switching to those fists. So that's a good example of a brawler type mech that I run at that level. Secondary type brawler type mech, looking at a lighter level, looking at the Javelin. Kind of an interesting machine. We explored in the Battletech Tactica from 2 days ago, ideal weapon locations. I pushed that up to the Battletech playlist here. Ideal weapon locations to get the most out of your weapon the longest. And an example that I put forth as an illustration was the Javelin. Javelin's an interesting machine. You inherit that mech, right? You inherit that mech or you win it at a game of cards, and you kind of have an interesting choice to make as a Javelin mech warrior. You're either all in going into one Tactica. The machine is just geared for one thing, and that's it. And it's a little bit risky. If you can't do that, you better take that loss, get those C-bills, and get into something a little bit more conservative. Maybe spend a little bit more and get something like a Phoenix Hawk or something like that where you can play a variety of roles. But we take this mech and we launch in two. We pack in 2 short-range missile 6-packs. Left torso, right torso. So right away, that frees up the arms. Plus the short-range missile packs, the spread of them, encourage you to get close. Well, if I'm going to get that close, I'm going to get real close so I can punch you. I've got just enough reloads to get me in trouble with that. Side note, exploring the Javelin, it's not a rogue kind of go solo, outflank, send it out, do something mech. You'll just get blasted apart. It really needs to be embedded in a lance. But it's an interesting brawler mech. Now, turning it over to my fellow mech warriors. The definition of a brawler mech, what is that for you? This is for me a machine that wants to get 3 hexes or less, or base to base, initiating physical attacks and blasting you with customized short-range weapons. Autocannon 20s, maybe medium lasers, but autocannon 20s and short-range missile spam. Looking at that as I punch you. What mechs do you think from the tech manuals fit that bill of sale perfectly?